So now let's complete the first step in this, right? The first part is now that you have your topic, you're going to create a Word document. Now you can do this once you've done some research. So let's talk about research, prompts, and generated content because that's what's going to go in the document. So ChatGPT is great, Bard is great, whichever one you want to use. There are other ones. Probably these are the most common ones I would see students use. So I have Chat open. There's a free version. You can just go to openai.com and get one. And so the first prompt that I used right here was teach me about Linux OSs. Okay. So if I felt like that prompt created output I'd like to include in my research paper, that'd be great. I don't have to include all the prompts that I use. The prompting is really about, setting the context for ChatGPT to give you the output in a way you want it and the type of output that you want. So again, in the beginning, I wouldn't worry too much as you develop, just like we all did with our Googling skills, you develop good prompting skills. There's definitely some ways and videos on YouTube to help you with better prompting skills. That's a rabbit hole you could go down. More than anything, you just want to start, you know, because like as an example in this way, if you're reading this and it was like it still was like too much, you could tell it, do it with humor, do it at give me a better simplified answer. I mean, there's just a lot of different ways. Like if you didn't feel like this was good output, don't use it. And if you want it in a different way, or in you want it to do more casual tone, you can say, teach it to me in a more casual tone, or teach it to me, and don't take offense to this, but like I'm a high school student, or if I'm a elementary student, because it'll give you that basic idea. And it's okay, it's just part of learning how to use it. But let's say, for instance, this was a prompt you wanted to capture in your research document. Okay, over here I do say a minimum of 3 prompts and associated content. Okay, so let's just say, for purposes of how you do this, now I would copy this, right? So that's my prompt. I would come over to here, and I have a Word document up. Okay. Now, the first thing I'm going to do before I put this in is I'm actually going to create my cover table, or my cover page. Now, you can use whichever format you want. I'm going to use this one, right? In this case, you will put in this case, it gave me, I think, my name down here, right? And I tell you in the here is create a cover page with your selected topic, your name, and which tool you used. So, you might put your topic here. You could put the tool. You can format this however you want, as long as you include those pieces of information. Okay. So now, and again, I'm not going to be specific there. Just make it look nice. So now let's say you're actually ready to capture the prompts. I want these done in a particular style, and you'll see why when we get to this step. So as an example, if I pasted this in, right, I would do text only. That way it strips out anything that came from chat. And then I would do this is where I would format it. Let's see, it's here, right? So I would do these, I would make these. Sorry. I'm using my Mac, and oh yeah, here we go. I was looking for these. So headings. So major headings. So let's do this. I'll come back to that. Let's do this. Let's say week. We're going to say week 1, okay? Because week 1 is a major heading, okay? And then this would be a minor heading. So this would be a heading 2. And now in here, right now you do your content that it generated. So I'm maybe not going to use all this. I like the package manager, the CI permissions. I would want to go through here and I'm going to show you for purposes of just the example to copy it all, but I would really want to pull out the parts, because think about this, is the research you're going to do here is going to feed into a presentation. So think about the parts that you're interested in, right? So if I came over here, over to my document, And now that I have that copied, I would paste special. And again, I would do unformatted. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, that looks okay. It does take out. Let me try that again. Let me see what formatted looks like. Yeah, so that looks okay too, because it actually keeps some of that structure in there, which is nice. Now in this case, what does it make? It makes it normal, totally okay. So this should be heading 2, this should be heading 1. Great, okay? So now what you want to do, again, right, minimum of 3 and associated content, right? And then what you want to do here is you want to then script draft of script. Right? Script is basically, again, when you go to a presentation, you don't have to read this. It's more for you to think through what you would say. Okay? Now, this is going to be at the same level formatting as the prompt. Okay? So, heading 2. So, we could come back down here, and this would be a heading 2. Okay? And then you would write or draft your prompt. Now, by the way, and I suspect some of you already know this, you can have chat help you with this, right? Now, part of this is you have to be specific about what content you're going to cover, or just write it, whichever way you want to do that, okay? Oh, sorry, draft, draft your script, draft, write or draft, no, write your script. Or use chat or whatever you're using. Okay. Now this should be, okay, this content right here should be normal. Right? That should be normal. Is this normal? Yeah, should be all normal out here. Okay, so that's what that will be. Right? Okay, so now what you want to do here is once you get all that done, then you're going to end up saying insert. Okay, and in this case we're going to insert a break. We're going to insert a page break. Okay, and when you do that, then you get a blank page. And so here what you want to do is come over and say insert. Okay, and now I'm using the Mac version, but Windows versions have this, and it's called a index and table, I believe. I believe that's right. Okay, so I'm going to create a table of contents. So what this is going to do is look through my headings, create a table of contents. You can figure out which one you would do. I think from the template, this one looks nice. You can, again, you'll need at least it showing like this, a couple of, so then each week you'll end up updating this. Okay, so here's what you want to do. Now that you're ready, hit Save As, give it a file name. I would say AI Research. Now, I am one that typically likes. Now, on document names, right? It's okay to use this. When you're programming, it's a different topic. So look at where it's saving it, okay? And it's saving it as a doc. Now, you could also save it as a PDF, but in this case, you're sharing it with me. Cool. So now what you want to do, now that you've done that, is upload it into the course folder you created, right? So in this case, I'm just going to show the one for, because it's basically the same process we've already looked at. So here we go. So now what I would do is find that folder. For me, it's the Finder. Let me bring it over after I get it over here, right? Okay. So then, right? So what I would do is this AI Research, I would drag it in here. Now we have it uploaded. Now you're going to share it. Again, hit the share, right? Specify anyone with the link. And now I'm doing it this way because eventually I may have you share these out to the class. So this is just a good practice to do. Apply that. Remember I talked how to apply that. Hit copy. Right? Now you get the link here. You test to make sure the link works. Incognito. You paste it there. Looks like it did work. Great. And when you know it works, you can get out of here or just come over to here. And now you'll submit the URL. Okay, now I don't have it in view mode, but in your case, when you're viewing it as a student, you have a URL, and that URL is what you will submit for my grading. Okay? All right, hope this helps, and I'll talk to you on the next one.